Hey, what's up? This is Shaheel. If there's one question that I get asked most often, it would be someone asking me what phone should I buy or suggest me some phones under X amount of budget. They're all asking the same question and I'm answering them using the same method. So I thought that it would be great if I made a video showing how to choose a good smartphone. And so this video is going to be divided into multiple segments which you can see through the chapters. And by following each step, you'd get an idea as to what options might be good for your specific use cases. Without more talking, let's get started. Step number 1, setting a budget. Most people, despite all the other factors that go into buying a phone, usually end up making the final decision considering their budget restrictions. In my opinion, once you pass $600, $700, spending more money won't actually get you a better phone as to how much more you're spending. At that point, it's just going to be flagships and deciding between what flagship you want rather than what phone in general. That being said, think about how much you want to spend on a phone and how long you'd be using that phone. Step number 2, Android or iOS. So this one's really straightforward. If you're already on an iPhone and have other Apple products or use Apple services like FaceTime or iMessage, then it makes sense to stick to an iPhone. It's just a question of if you want the Pro or the normal one. But if you're on an Android and you're happy using an Android phone, then that's fine too. But in the Android world, different manufacturers have different UIs and skins on their phones, so make sure that you research about software support that they provide. Because there are cases where some Android manufacturers are just notorious for not providing timely updates and not patching the bugs in their software. But other than that, the only question you should be asking is if you're going to stay with the same Android manufacturer or you're going to move to another manufacturer. Or if you're going to move to an iPhone, if that's what you're looking for. Anyways, if you're an iPhone person, you don't really have to think a lot about specs or picking between hundreds of options or even budget if you think about it. Instead, you could skip to the last chapter for the last step, or you could stay around because what's time? Step number 3, asking yourself a few questions. Most people, when they're looking to buy a phone, would already have a few requirements in mind. For some people, they'd want awesome cameras. For some people, it'd be great battery life. Some would want clean software/UI, or even deciding between a normal and a foldable phone could be a factor in your purchase decision. So whatever it might be, understand your priorities. Ask yourself what you really want and what's important to you. The easiest way to find out would be to analyze the apps that you're using. If you use a lot of YouTube, Netflix, and Instagram, then a great display might be what you're looking for. If you spend a lot of time on just lightweight apps like Messages app, then look for a phone with a good battery life. If you're into gaming, look for a good processor, or if you're into shooting a lot of photos, then get a phone with a good camera. You get the idea. Make a list of priorities and then, only then, start to search for a phone that'll satisfy your needs and fit inside your budget, which is already set from step 1. Step 4, searching for the best option. If you already have a bit of idea about specs and features, this is gonna be easier, but if you're an absolute beginner or don't know a lot, then this might be a bit confusing. The best option is of course to search on the internet. When searching, make sure to include your use case that we found out from the previous step. Try to look for a phone that best fits for you and your use cases. Trying and understanding the specs would help in making the process a lot more easier. It might take a bit of time to search for good phones, but eventually you will stumble across a few good options. Now, shortlist a few phones that you found to be good for you. Reading reviews from trusted sources or watching reviews from YouTube can help you reach a decision. But make sure to watch multiple reviews or read multiple articles on the device, because getting information from multiple sources can help you understand your product better. And finally, step number 5 is buying the phone. So here's the thing. Where you buy the phone from can actually make a considerable difference in your purchase experience. Because there are a few things, like for example here in India, smartphones tend to be more expensive than in other countries. So if you're already looking to buy a phone, buying it during a sale or an offer period helps a lot. This also helps in finding a phone within the budget from step 1 a lot more easier. This is not meant to be financial advice or anything, but make sure to use credit card offers and bank offers. Because oftentimes there are cashbacks and discounts if you have certain types of credit cards or debit cards. So make sure to look out for such things when you're buying a phone. This goes without saying, but buy your tech from trusted sellers or websites. Make sure to check that the seller is legit, and also make sure to check for their return policy and warranty policies in case if something goes wrong. If something seems too good to be true, oftentimes it's not. So So hopefully you got an idea of what to look out for when buying a phone. At least this is how I do it when someone asks me what phone they should get. That is by understanding their use cases, their budget, etc. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give the channel a sub and comment your thoughts down below. And until we meet the next time, goodbye.